And I think again, kudos to the people writing these scripts and driving this ship, captaining the ship. It mirrors life so much. We've had the opportunity with Supernatural. It's been so unique. With this season, we end at 287 episodes. So we have 200 plus hours of storylines, and life is cyclical. And sometimes you're there for your friend or family member or whatever. Sometimes they're there for you, and it goes round and round and round. And I see a lot of familiar faces that have been with us for many, many years. Some for all 13 years. Some for a more brief amount of time, but no less excited. And it's just it's a great, in this weird, bizarre, fantastical, supernatural world where sometimes you end up animated with Scooby Friggin' Doo. You still get to see it mirrors life, and sometimes you're the support, and sometimes you're the one being supported.
As a wise man once said, sometimes you eat the bar, and sometimes the bar eats you.
I like that it mirrors life came after. Sometimes you're animated. It mirrors.
That was a non sequitur. That was a bit of a tangent.
Yeah.
He's animated every day,
all the time, all the time. I'm just a hologram.
Which Winchester gives the better pep talks?
Ooh. Fight!
I think we've all seen Dean give his Braveheart speech.
Which he stole from Braveheart. He didn't think of it.
That doesn't matter.
Quote a film.
Still motivating.
Once more into the breach, dear friends.
Is that Bill Shakespeare over there?
That's Billy Shakespeare. Take off my glasses.
In the writer's room, we think it's Mary. So.
we don't.
I was going to keep going on which Winchester, but now I'm a little scared. Of what happens. Which Winchester's better? No, I'm just kidding. All right, looking back on the show, for the writers, it's kind of about like drafts, an idea that gave you trouble. For the actors, it's about like a scene or a story. What do you think has been like the most takes you guys have ever done in any given scene of Supernatural? And or for the writers, something that you've had kind of like the most trouble with? Whether it's a scene or a story or a joke or...
Wow, apparently no trouble.
Yeah. It's all perfect.
It's easy.
I can tell you how they contribute. This is sort of... you won't get this on every show. Okay. I was directing an episode, I can't even remember which one it was, we're just about getting ready to shoot a scene with Jared and Jensen, and they came in and said, this doesn't feel right. We think Jared should have Jensen's line and Jensen should have Jared's line. And I went, really, now?
Bob's like, in all my years.
And I said, okay, read it. And they did. And I went, you guys are absolutely right. And they just switched parts. So they're so in tune with their characters and how they feel that it kind of makes it easy for us, because if they know, generally we know, except when we wrote it wrong and they said, no, we're going to switch this. So it's, I think there's kind of a symbiotic relationship with the actors and us in the writer's room. And having done a lot of shows prior to this, I can tell you that these guys are as easy to work with. When they have a problem, they come to you in a respectful manner and say, we think of maybe this, and it's the same way on the set. They're both really camera savvy. They both have great ideas about how a scene might be blocked. And as a director, if you just, don't get so locked into what your plan is and be able to listen to them, generally, those scenes turn out better because of their input.
Thanks, Bob. It is, we are, especially with guys like Bob, there's a cool, I don't know who first said this on set, but the phrase "best idea wins." It's sort of the lack of ego, and the director has this idea, the camera operator has that idea, the actors have this idea, and then when they all spout their ideas, even though the director is captaining the ship, if the director's like, oh, if it's Bob or whomever it is, they'll say, wow, yeah, that works, great. And there's no like, well, no, I didn't, there's no sort of ego like, I didn't want it that way, or I wrote, you say won't, not will not, or whatever it is. That having been said, to that extent, I think the most takes I recall doing off the top of my head is just because the timing had to work perfectly in the 50-50 is Sam Winchester keeps a ruler by the side of his bed, and every morning when he wakes up. Because we had to say it at the same time. So it was one of those moments where Sam has been through this day in Mystery Spot over and over and over again. And so he and I had to say it at the exact same time, exact same inflection. And so it just took it. I don't know what the lines are.
It is.
Only if Misha does his accent.
I remember the scene for me that was the most takes for me was it was My Bloody Valentine, and
Good movie.
Really good, great movie. Cass walked up to the table. We're in an autop. What is it called? A corridors.
Morgue.
Morgue.
A mortuary.
Pipe down. I walked up to the table and I was delivering my, Cass dialogue, blah, 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 and Jared and Jensen are on the other side of this stainless steel table, and every time I walked up, Jared had a broom handle in my crotch, and I was just laughing, and so I'm not good at.
He was giggling.
I was giggling.
Laughing.
I was giddy. And I'm not good at not laughing. Right, Bob? Not good at that. It's not one of my strengths. So finally, the first AD took the broom handle away from him, and then Jared continued. I was delivering my dialogue. Blah, 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 blah. Jared continued to be, annoying. He had a foot, and he was making faces. And then finally, Jensen was like a friend on the set. Said, "Hey man, don't deliver the dialogue to him. Just say it to me." And I was like, "Thank you." And so I said my lines. I walked up to the stainless steel table. I said my line to Jensen, and Jensen went. So many takes. So many takes.
Teamwork.
Okay, I have a question from our Facebook Live feed. We're live on the Facebooks.
Who's live?
I mean, we are.
What?
We're live.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
All right, Lindsay Ann Beard would like to know, is there a famous haunted location that you would like to see in a future episode? There you go.
There are two for me. Winchester Mystery House would be awesome. And there's one that I consistently forget the name of, but it's supposed to be the most haunted place in America. It's like a hotel in Colorado. The Stanley. The Stanley. Yeah, that's supposed to be. I want to go stay there. It's going to be scary. Is it?
I didn't stay, but I've been.
And?
It was traumatizing.
No.
It was really
Stanley
scary.
and Winchester.
Yeah.
Well,
that's true too. Gorgeous and traumatizing.
The gorgeous. The gorgeous what?
No, the Stanley is gorgeous.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Got it.
It's a beautiful building.
The gorgeous?
Yeah.
Got it. So those two.
Anybody else have a famous location?
Maui.
Known to be haunted.
Lots of ghosts.
Gotta be some ghosts in Maui. That's
boat. A baby boat.
Jensen only speaks in one word. For the rest of the panel. All right. Now is the time for you all to ask your questions. We're going to throw it out to you. We'll bring the lights up. Raise your hand. I will call on you. You will get a mic. All right, let's go right here.
How many people are here?
I have no idea. Yep, right here. You're heading the right direction.
Wow. We're very popular.
Yeah, that's a lot. It goes up.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So, I was wondering, what's the difference between preparing yourself for an actual episode and something like this?
It was an actual episode. Wait, are y'all not going to air it?
No. Do you mean this or this? Do you mean the episode, Scooby? Are you talking about being on stage?
Yeah. Voiceovers.
Okay.
Acting out.
Okay. For a minute there, I thought it was a good question.
Just kidding, Abby. Just kidding.
Abby's a friend, I can say that.
Abby's our friend.
I was like, you just roasted this girl.
Say hi to Abby.
Hi, Abby.
Yeah, it was just wildly different. However, there's been many wildly different episodes of Supernatural in the past that, he and I read and we're like, I don't know what we're doing here. Like, what's... and I think at the end of the day, at least for me, I always feel like if I can just stay true to who Dean is, then you can put that character anywhere. Mystery spot. You can put changing channels, French mistake, Scooby Natural, any of those like crazy, wacky episodes where it goes to a different world. I always think that if I can just stay true to who this character truly is, then wherever you put me, I will be him.
Yeah, for me, my preparation was the exact same. The filming of it was different, obviously, but same thing. And I recall, and this made me laugh because this morning, so we don't live in Los Angeles, so I'm staying in a hotel, and I got up to get on the treadmill, read my script, and I turn it on. And I turn, and there's a little TV on the treadmill, and I'm flipping through the channels, and I get to TNT, and it's French Mistake. And so I'm trying very hard to kind of surreptitiously watch it while no one sees that I'm watching myself on a treadmill. Every time somebody's walking behind me, I'm like, oh, where's CNN? Mueller in Russia. I don't know, the machines. But I was laughing knowing that today we were talking about Scooby Natural, which, what a crazy episode to do, right? But my preparation was the same, and my point being, when we heard about French Mistake, our whole edict was sort of, as long as I play Sam Winchester and he plays Dean Winchester, it'll work, and we won't feel like we've jumped the shark. So even if they call us Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki, as long as we're Sam and Dean reacting to that, then
we still felt like we jumped the shark.
Many times.
Yeah.
For me, it's been the same.
They just forgot to tell us.
Good question, Abby.
All right, let's go double horns. Sure.
Hi. 3 things. 1, I love your ring. I'm a big ring wearer myself.
Okay.
2, the show is so amazing. It reminds me of a Stephen King novel. It's a well-told story. I'm excited to get to the end, but I don't want to get to the end because then it'll be over. So, and 3, yes, truth or dare. The 3.
The people have spoken, Misha. Truth or dare?
And I feel like it should be a dare.
I mean, obviously, dare's
Dare! That was a bad mistake.
Will you thumb wrestle me?
As soon as he got up, I was like, microphone. what it's come to. This is what it's come
That was masterful thumb wrestling.
All right,
That was
let's
ballsy.
do
I was like, oh
the
god.
red shirt right behind you, sir. If you look to your right, yeah.
This is awesome.
Didn't see that at the Oscars.
So I just want to know what you love most about doing this show, all of you, because obviously you've done it a long time. There's something that's holding you there. What is it? It could be any of you.
That's a good question.
It's a great question.
Alex, what's been keeping you here for?
And don't play yourself, okay?
What's keeping
for me?
Yeah, Bob, you should probably take this.
Yeah,
one.
for me, Jared and Jensen said they would kill me if I left. So.
That's true. Very, very, very true.
It's more self-preservation than anything
You
else.
also weren't supposed to tell anybody that, Bob. That's right.
We made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
No.
You know, there's many reasons that I still truly enjoy doing this show and working with these people, and it's become something that I never anticipated. When this show first started, I was like, man, this has got a real good shot of like going a couple of seasons. And that was huge.
It is huge.
So to be up here on the stage talking to you guys after 13 years, it's I don't know what the recipe is, but whatever it is, I'm happy to have found it, and these people keep me going to work, and I love going to work. I just had a birthday party up there, and there was my wife threw me a surprise party, and the whole crew and cast, not only present but from the past too, showed up, and it was those people that keep me fighting every day and getting up and doing what I love.
Yeah, same. Same. That, and we get to tell a story I think we really care about. And I think as much as you guys love Supernatural and Jack and Mish and Sam and Dean, we love Sam and Dean too. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to see Sam die any more than y'all want to see Sam die. So I'm excited to keep telling the story.
Thanks. Good question.
All right, let's go to the guy in the glasses way far over here. We're going to go to the edge, because that's where I like to live.
That's where the show is.
Danger's my middle name.
How you guys doing?
Good.
So, my wife got me into this show. That's her. I didn't think it was something, it was a show that I would like personally, but she got me into it, and the one thing that really stuck to me was the relationship between you two as brothers. I have 3 brothers myself, 2 older, 1 younger, and I've heard over the course of the show you guys have gotten really close, but the thing that stuck to me was how early on you both came across as brothers, as friends, as at times you guys just couldn't stand being around each other, and as having personal experience that with my own brothers where I don't want to be around them, I don't want to talk to them. Eventually we come back, we find that bond that brings us back together as family, and the fact that you guys have come across as real brothers from the get-go is one thing that really, like I said, stuck to me. So how did that come across with you guys? How did that chemistry come so early where you literally come across as 2 people? If I never saw the show, oh yeah, they're brothers. I totally see that, because my oldest brother is a lot like Dean. He's hard-headed. He knows what he knows. He's going to tell you what he's going to tell you, and it is what it is. And as being Sam a lot in many instances with my oldest brother, it's like I said, it came across extremely genuine. And the writers can give you all the words and the best scripts to read, but you two really got that across. And how did that come up, and how do you guys keep that going 13 years later?
Thanks, man. Great question. Welcome to the family. Thanks, wife. Super cool. I again, to parrot something he said a moment ago, I wish I had the recipe. I think the basics were you're not going to do it without the right words. You know, you can write, you can have De Niro and Pacino read an awful script and they can't make anything happen. So we had the raw material to work with, and then I think we just got each other. We were both really grateful to be in the position we were in. We were both willing to work hard, put in the extra hours.
Young and hungry.
Young and hungry, and just, I mean it. Like, it was one of those, you know, you're not going to work me too hard. 16-hour day, fine. You got to fly there, fine. He and I both were just there, committed to the script. We loved the characters. We trusted the writers, and we went for it. You know, I mean, we didn't hold back. We went for it, both personally. We also have a lot in common just on the paper. You know, from where we grew up to who our football team is to. We both have older brothers and younger sisters, and our family kind of raised us similarly. Our parents still are married to and they live in the homes and the areas we grew up in. And so we had a lot of raw material just literally on the page that we had a lot to share, a lot in common. You know, we talked about the Cowboys. We had stuff to bond over. It wasn't like, and I've done movies and projects where the producers in the studio will send you to a location a week ahead of filming, 2 weeks ahead of filming, to have you all hobnob, you know, like, well, we're going to have them do dinners together, and they'll be friends, and then it'll come across on screen, and that feels very falsified and fake, and this just kind of happened naturally. It was like, well, hey, it's only 5 p.m., Cowboys are playing tonight, you want to go watch it? I'm going to watch it anyways. Sure, you know, so it became one of these natural bonding experiences. And
there's a moment too that we can't overlook, and it's a moment that happened, I believe, episode 2 of the show. We were filming. It was Wendigo. We were filming out in Stanley Park, and Eric Kripke sat the two of us down, and he said, "Guys, I can't impress upon you how important this is." And he pointed to the two of us and said, "This relationship is crucial to the success of this show.
Yeah, the show lives and dies with you.
And it lives and dies with you, and you need to understand that you are now shouldering that responsibility." And, you know, we were young guys at that time, and I think it really hit us hard. I know those words still resonate with me today. And the fact that he sat us down and had that conversation. I'm older now than he was then. Like, yeah. So he was giving us a pep talk, and he wasn't much older than us, and that pep talk, I think, has sustained us for quite a while. And he and I instantly grew up in that moment and said, you know what, we're going to have to be super adults about this, and we can be children later when Misha joins the show.
What he said.
But you two also do, in the real world, love each other like brothers. I mean, you spend a lot of time together, and you're good friends, and you've actually spent the bulk now of your adult lives together, believe it or not. You've actually literally grown up together, I'm sorry to say that, and infected one another with each other's personalities.
I mean, it's really depressing.
It's sad. It is.
Yeah, yeah. It didn't help it didn't hurt to legitimately care about everybody on this stage, frankly. But yeah, I think a mutual trust. You know, yeah.
When it works, it works.
When it works, it works. Thanks, buddy.
All right, guys. They're actually telling me to wrap it up. So we'll do one final question here, right here. Go for it.
So a lot of questions have been towards Jared and Jensen. I actually want to ask for Misha. Oh, hi, I'm Sarah, by the way. I'm a really big fan. I wrote it down because I didn't want to forget it. But you guys were talking about how, Jared and Jensen, you guys talked about how staying true to your character is the most essential part of playing a role on TV. But Misha, your character especially, I know everyone has different variations, but your character has been through a bunch of different changes. You've played Jimmy Novak, Leviathan Cass, Cassifer, Big Empty Cass. How do you prepare for each version of your role, and how does that preparation differ from your normal variation, like your normal preparation as Cass? Sorry, it's long.
In one sentence, please.
play all these different things,
Yeah.
right? How do those different versions, how does your preparation vary from just playing normal
dumb it
Castiel?
down for
Okay.
him.
I want to make sure he gets it.
Can you use smaller words? How do you pretend to be different?
Lots of Casses.
Lots of cast. Yay!
You're Winchester.
It's sort of it depends on the character. I think there have been times when there really have been many iterations of Castiel over the last 10 years. There have been times when I showed up on set feeling really lost and really at sea and not sure, like Crazy Cast for me. Ben Edlund was directing, and he wrote the episode where Crazy Cast appeared first. And I remember showing up on set, and I had an idea, and I did one take on camera, and he said, try again, but do the opposite of what you're doing. And that was how we discovered that character. It felt very seat of the pants.
Which one was Crazy Cast?
Crazy Cast was Crazy Cast. I'd love to sit down and watch the show with you sometime.
Is that like Crazed TL?
Crazy Cast. But for instance, the big empty cast, I spent a great deal of time on an oil rig in the mid-Atlantic. Honing that dialect.
You're still seeking counseling.
I think often there's a little thread that you pull. You see something and you think, oh, you know what? I'm going to follow that thread and see where it takes us. I think a lot of the best things in art come from that. Castiel now, getting into the Castiel character, for me largely is just about slouching. That's all it takes. I just have to hunch over and I'm Cass. That's it.
I love the idea that somewhere on an oil rig in the mid-Atlantic, somebody's watching Supernatural's like, wait a second.
I don't remember him.
He sounds like one of us.
Well, on that note, that is our panel. Thank you guys for coming out.